Yeah.
Hey, live.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, and we are here for our next installment of HoGaLe's. Are we definitely live, ladies? Because I've got my rubbish.
Live. I've got red live.
Oh, good. All right, my one's taking a while, and so of course we have. Oh, I always get it wrong. I remember I've got to point this way. Here in New Mexico is Lady G joining us, of course, live from New Mexico, and fabulous, of course, always to have you on the show. And actually, down under, but down in Argentina, of course, we have Lena.
And I can be the HoGaLe's correspondent for the Argentinian elections.
Absolutely. So Lena is going to give us a little bit of a download because of, as if the world weren't crazy enough already. But before we get stuck in with that, please don't forget to, of course, to like and subscribe, and click on the bell notification. And if you'd like to subscribe to the ladies' channels as well, they are in the video description below. I'll have to make sure that that's all added there before the show. We've got a few questions for you tonight, but really we're going to open with something really important, and we're going to hand over to Lena because tomorrow is the Argentinian elections. And just so you know, it was Kathy Amolsh, and she said, "Hi, Hogarth and beautiful ladies. The Argentine election is tomorrow, and Javier Milei, isn't it? I think I've said that wrong. Milei, that's the one. The wacky Duck Larange type candidate that Lena told us about is leading. And the question, will he win or force a runoff?" So, Lena, you are there right now. What's going on?
Well, the huge thing is Hogarth, you've disappeared.
Sorry.
Well, I hope you guys can see at least the two of us. So what's happened is you have the two general parties that you could describe as normal parties. They haven't been able to solve the problem. So that has left a vacuum that's been filled by this larger-than-life character, Milei. All right. So his thing is, for example, you can sell your organs. That would be legal. He will physically destroy the central bank. I don't know how that's going to improve things. But, and he comes to his rallies with a chainsaw turned on. He moves around with a chainsaw. I mean, he should be locked up. It's insane. But the point is why he's gathered momentum, and a lot of young people are getting behind him. His whole campaign was on TikTok, right? Not a conventional campaign. So he just went straight in, got the young people. Yeah. And so when young people are asked, what about this happening if he comes in? And they'll go, oh, no, he won't do it, Yeah, it's a very scary time. So it'll be interesting.
Sounds like MAGA time there. I mean, what's going on in the world? We have MAGA here, MAGA there, MAGA, it's insane.
Yeah. I'm back. Hi, I'm glad you're back, Ho.
I'm on my phone, guys. Don't worry, my computer just crashed. I always have backup. Sorry, Lena, could you just let me know what's going on, because I would have missed all of that stuff.
Well, the catch up is the maniac, psychotic Milei is running away with the youth vote because he ran his whole campaign on TikTok. Isn't that interesting? Wow. So around the city, you see posters of the other campaign groups. He didn't bother. He did it all online. There's a lesson here, Dems, get online, hire some young people. Wow. Yeah, but it's fully scary because should he get in, he's just a force for destruction and authoritarian because it goes together. rollback abortion. You know, it would be a disaster. So let's see what the cards say. Oh.
Yeah, let's have a. I mean, it's as you guys know, as I've been talking ad nauseum, it's this. Honestly, it's this Pluto in sidereal Capricorn. That's what this means, folks.
Exactly.
The gates of hell opening up in government.
Gates of hell in government. And doesn't matter where you look, wherever your eyes land. I mean, leaders everywhere.
Indeed. I mean, thankfully, there's some progress, of course, in Georgia, and of course, we'll have that question. By the way, guys, I'm using the tarot cards, which I've had to borrow from my friend, and there'll be no Shakespeare tonight because I forgot the book at home. I'm currently in East Anglia. I'm in the UK, but I'm visiting my friend Sarah. You might see her cat, Houdini, moving around in the background.
Oh, Houdini, it's a great name. Have we got a question?
Yeah, so essentially it's here, what are we here? So yeah, will he win or force a runoff? So let's just read, on his prospects and see what the cards say. Oh God. Oh, bloody world.
Dramatic. So I'll be going to the election tomorrow as part of an exercise.
What, have you gone to throw eggs? Yeah.
No, I'm going to observe.
How are you going to stay calm amongst that? Can you imagine, folks, Lena at one of this consequential Argentine election, she's probably going to be standing there with a banner and a huge spliff of something, and then she's probably going to throw tequila over people.
No, luckily I hope the other Argentinians do it for me. Yeah, I hope that's going on.
I mean, where the world is going. I mean, this is the guy who's run on a platform of being able to sell your body organs. I mean,
yeah, I know.
You just can't make it up. Can't make it up.
No.
All right, who's ready to go?
I'm not.
Well, I can go because I'm doing my quick thought today.
Yes.
So underneath of it, we have just, it's not going well, unhappy with things and feeling a bit pressured. It's charging forward, but it's not going to end well. We have a little bit of a nightmare scenario going. When it comes to the people, he's a bit out in the cold. And we have what he's tried to sell people are maybe walking away from it.
Praise be.
Let's hope.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Lena, what do you have?
Well, I've sort of got the story, the backstory coming up first before the killer card. So this is him, like the Eight of Wands. Like you couldn't move anywhere without hearing his name, seeing him in some context, and boom, 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 boom. And he's riding the wave, right? He's got the numbers on paper, in theory. He has a strong, I won't say message, because he's like all circus performers like Trump and so forth. They're not ideologues. He's just a power freak. But he has a strong hold. However, that's sort of coming up to today. The Judgment card. I'm hoping this means when people actually come to vote, they won't go there significantly, but it could be a runoff, because here is the Two of Cups, which is coming to a deal. And I think this represents the traditional Argentine political establishment that has kept failing.
Yeah.
What is a big problem? Kept failing. Sorry, take your neoliberalism and shove it, It's a judgment call all round is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, not just me.
Gosh. All right, let's see. I just want to check. So are you complete there? Yeah?
Yep.
Right, okay. Now, my cards these are quite interesting cards. All right, here we are. So on my borrowed deck, thank God that my friend's got a couple of tarot cards.
Yeah, I reckon.
I was going to draw them out on A4 paper. I kid you not.
I've done that before today.
Literally, I was going to do on A4 paper. Thank God she had a little mini deck knocking around. So just so you know, folks, if you're just joining, I am in a place called Dis, which is in East Anglia, staying with my friend Sarah. And if you see a cat going around in the background, he's called Houdini. All right, so look here. 10 of Pentacles. So really this, we know when we're talking about politics, this is talking about the establishment politics. So in a way, the fact it's come up, we know that this is really the problem, isn't it? This legacy, this established politics of incompetence, not doing the right thing. Because how else could this guy who makes Trump seem sane, genteel, and eloquent by
Absolutely.
I mean, he literally goes around with a chainsaw, folks. Anyway, so this is talking about the establishment, which I think is what the electorate are upset with. Why? When we look in the obstacle position, we have the Fool. They're seen as feckless, foolish, irresponsible, heads in the clouds, just looking after themselves, while Argentina has gone off the cliff. And in many ways, there's been many warnings about this, I suspect. The little dog can either be seen as the encouragement and the token of faith, or trying to warn the Fool about the folly he's about to undertake. So the establishment has been ignoring the calls for ages. However, when it comes to this guy, what's his name again?
Milei.
Milei.
Yeah.
Which sounds like Malays. Very.
Yes.
Can't make this stuff up.
You got the Knight of
Yeah, so look at that. Here we are. We've got the false knight. Here he's coming with his cups, you know, and he's making these promises. He's like, look, the only thing that's missing is the chainsaw, of course, but he's like, yeah, I will end, our problems will end when I stop all of education. Our problems will end when you're allowed to sell your body organs. Just so you know, folks, you can only sell your liver once. Yeah. And when you sell your liver, it's done. Same thing with kidneys, by the way. You have two, but if the other one goes, I don't know. I mean, maybe men are at unfair advantage, you know, because the testicles are easier to reach, you know, who knows? Anyway, so here he is with his message. His message is what? It's crazy. He's a lunatic. Look at this. He's an absolute loony bin. Here's the dogs and the wolf are howling. He is the lobster, literally the lobster who has come out of the deep beyond, talking absolute cray. And they're going for it. They're lapping it up. But look here, look at the outcome card.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm going to say is he may not necessarily win outright. However, I get the feeling he might be able to be a kingmaker. And he's probably looking to partner up, bargain. Now, look, we know he's playing this insanity character. I even think exactly. He may not be fully believe that he's going to be the outright winner, but he knows he's a contender. And I think he's prepared to maybe team up with another party where he will be obviously able to influence that party. However, if he does win outright, I don't know what to say. I mean,
no.
Anything to add to that, ladies? I mean, the cards were just...
No, you can only say, Argentina, I wish you all the very best tomorrow.
Literally.
May the higher good prevail.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what we can do. All we can do is pray for them, really. All we can do is pray for them. Wow. Just so we know here, so I'm going to scroll through some of the comments, but I'm doing it on my phone. I don't know if I'll be able to click them up, but let's just see. So we've got a hello from Alan, Sharon Donnelly, Connie B, Jules Struction, Vera DiChico. We've got Patricia Franzino, of course. Thank you so much for the support, and many of you as well. So I'm just kind of doing it a bit on my phone, and we've got over 1,000 of you, or almost 1,200 with you with us tonight. So thank you already.
want to make a shout out to Steve Watts in the comments. Hi, Steve. He's from Bundaberg. Dal, I was born in Maryborough, so we're probably cousins. Okay.
Let's go to the next one. Honestly, really and truly, though, we really are praying for Argentina, because this Pluto in Capricorn is really doing some stuff. Let's just put it that way. Let's talk then. So I'll go back to what was question number 1. So let's look at China. Yeah, it's time to look at China again. And this question has come in from Bentek Nudsum. I may have butchered that. Anyway, they say, "Hi, glorious team. Could you check on the Emperor/Foreman Xi? Where does he find himself on the world arena today? And will he do damage or play nice?" So let's ask that, because we know that China's having all sorts of economic problems, and that's the next question. But let's look at Xi. Is he going to play nice, or will he do damage on the world stage?
But before we get to that, you've reminded me, Lucy, in the chat, Milei, the maniac, right? He has these huge dogs, and he claims they're all cloned from his original dogs. He has 5 of them. But apart from that, he's completely normal. Okay, so back to Xi.
Honestly, that moon card really was perfect, wasn't it? He is the lobster coming out of the abyss. Oh, I never thought I would see someone that it's like Trump has set a bar by which that's the kind of new, even more crazy than him.
Well, that's right. You know, he let the genie out of the lamp. Oh, you don't have to promise anything or do anything or, you know, deliver anything. You just be the loudest crazy one and people will be drawn to you like a magnet. Not a few people.
It's extraordinary, isn't it? With Xi. My God, Xi, we may not hear about it all around the world, but let me tell you, Xi has been going through the ringer. He's having so many problems within China. Natural disasters, the housing situation. I think they've been able to bail out one of the building companies, but just really bad.
Yeah, it's now an avalanche of economic horrors. I mean, because in a way, what the West went through after the war until the 90s, the 2000s, so that huge growth of, you know, prosperity, at least for a majority, if not everybody, and that illusion just kept going. Now things are going backwards. That's taken 70 years for us, but it's happened like in 10 years for China or 15. You know what I mean? They've gone through that whole 50, 60, 70 and out the other side, and then the full repression and, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy. Alan says just here, "Good morning, everyone from Sydney. I have a liver for sale if anyone wants it. Plenty cheap."
Is that my Alan is the question. If it's my Alan, he'll get back in the comments.
Oh, bless. Who's ready to go?
I can go. I was just getting a clarifier, which I will pull. Okay. Sort of weird. The cards are all very up, 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 but so up, they almost have to be read as reversals.
Wow.
Because they're too good to be true. So it's like sometimes, it doesn't happen often, but it has happened to me before. It's an exaggeration of a situation that they're trying to show you. So it starts off sort of normal. Yeah, he needs a new perspective, that's for sure. But the other thing about the hangman, it can be the willing sacrifice. Now, I don't know how much the willing is here, but it's okay. I think he's going to look for someone to sort of offer up, as the problems have come from this person, not me. Then he gets the Queen of Swords. So I think he has to be very careful because people are taking note of things. It is a country in massive transition. But where the cards are sort of weird, this Page of Wands, it's a message coming through. I think he's like all solo. He's not an out and out dictator. There's more than him keeping people in line. But those of the authoritarian persuasion, right, what they share is this paranoia. And they can't be comfortable. So he's hearing messages all the time about people who want to topple him. This is a card that made me think they should all be reversed. It's not so much people celebrating, it's just people rising up. You know, because remember, they were nailed into their apartments for 2 years, but then it broke out. That's what this is about. And he's going to have his magician hat on if he's going to keep it going much longer.
Wow, fascinating. And also as well, maybe the shadow interpretation of that Three of Cups can also be kind of maniacal, or trying to make everything look happy, happy, joy, joy.
Yeah, but there was this fake energy about it, exactly.
Yeah, when it isn't. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, let's look and see. Underneath of it, he's trying to carry a big stick, but again, he keeps putting out the illusion and delusional drama always. He's trying to remain in charge and trying to put out something new that he can gravitate to, trying to build things behind there, but it's not going well for him. He's feeling pressured, trying to get to a better place by putting out endless fishtails as usual. And when it comes to our, I think that those that they're looking towards are perhaps looking at a better situation, more stable, because he is, they're investigating and they're wanting to perhaps construct something new. So it's not going well for him. The people have had it. I saw a video the other day. You couldn't believe it. One of the buildings, you could actually tear it apart with your hands.
Stop.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's what happens with this manic rogue capitalism they were playing with, but not calling it capitalism, right? So then you get the oligarchs, and the oligarchs get rich by taking shortcuts in their industry. Whatever industry they run,
they've got tons of people that have bought apartments. They've been 8 years waiting for them to finish them. They have not been finished, not done money. These people have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Wow. And I'm going to read my cards as well, and we'll look a little bit at the economy, and then of course of China, and then we're going to be focusing, of course, on the United States. We've got questions coming up in regards to Judge Canon, which is really quite a provocative, saucy one.
Shouldn't laugh.
Yeah,
it's
quite the question, and of course we need to talk as well about the flippers. We'll talk about the flippers in the Georgia case. So we're saving that for the end. So I'm gonna read my cards on Xi, and then we're gonna look a little bit. The next question will be about the wider economy of China. Why? Because it's important. We live on a globe, of course, and if China goes into a serious economic trouble, of course, that will affect the wider world, because still a lot of stuff is made in China. But in regards to Xi, look at this. Moon card comes back. You guys saw me shuffle. This is really talking about what is going on with Xi and China. It's smoke and mirrors, guys.
Yeah.
It is smoke and mirrors. What we're seeing is very much an illusion and the projected delusions of a party. In many ways, that's been hollowed out because Xi is so paranoid about being usurped. And this can be the card of mental illness, paranoia, all of this stuff. So he's not in his right head. Look at the card that turns up in the obstacle position, so we can see it as reversed. Look, the Nine of Pentacles. We all know this is the card of what? wealth, luxury, doing well. And in many ways, this can describe the Chinese economy, can't it? The economy that was never going to fail,
It was
blah,
going to
blah, blah.
grow 6% a year.
Exactly. But really, it's like this. So we always need to remember with this card, this lady is a courtesan. Yeah. When she's upright, she's the courtesan that has just made her mint, and she's like, screw you all, I don't give a damn. I've got my house, I've got my grapes, and I've even got my falcon. When she's like this, maybe she's kind of hit the skids and she's like not so classy anymore and has to do a little bit of street walking to get herself back to the previous comforts that she had. Yeah. I mean, that's basically what it is.
For those of you learning tarot.
This is the Chinese economy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, the Chinese economy, really, it is not looking nearly as glamorous and as sexy as it did before. The reality check has started to come in. However, Russia is never far away. Here she is. Here's Putin. Putinshka is like, don't worry, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. Now, you remember when we were reading the cards with Russia and China, and Putin was seen very much as the little, the lapdog looking for affection. Now I think the tables have turned. She's in the middle. Yeah, Russia's turned up in the middle. And look, there are fateful deals for him to make. China's going to have to make some deals. The lovers have turned up. So this is about what international deals, money, finance, they need to correct their economy. Let's not forget as well, we have the BRICS currency potentially launching next year. So now they need Russia a lot more than they did before. Because, of course, when your economy's going, you need help. But look here, the Queen of Swords comes back. And so again, this is about legalities. This is also about rules, regulations, but this is also about using the intellect and being sharp. So Xi, in a way, has to use his smarts to kind of right the ship, because really the economy is struggling. Let's do a quick read on the economy, and then we're going to do some American stuff.
This is the Chinese economy?
Yeah, the Chinese economy, because I've said before already, and a person has asked about the US economy as well, so there is an economic flavor to this show. But I said things would change in the last quarter. We're in the last quarter now, so it's worth having a read on, because we've got, what is it, in the US, in November, the debt ceiling again.
Yeah.
So
it's only 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
All this drama that's still not sorted out, and they've got that coming up.
It's extraordinary. So let's do a poll on the Chinese economy, and then we're going to look at Judge Canon. And the question that's come in is quite it's a bit controversial. Anyway,
Right.
Chinese economy. Let's see if my reversed Nine of Pentacles is backed up in your cards as well, ladies. China economy. Because even though production is moving to other countries, they are still a huge deal in the world, China.
Oh, yes. Okay, I can go if you like.
Go for it.
Now, kick off here with the Hermit. Not surprising, in the sense of China has been through so much, as well as going from a virtual feudal society to virtually running the world in this extraordinary quick time, and basically doing it with internal force, looking to themselves and Chinese in other countries. In other words, a closed shop. It's worked very well, but it's sort of coming to the end. They're not quite sure how to deal with it because it's a society that's no longer completely a communist state, yet it is a one-party state, and yet it's not a capitalist state. It's trying to work out its identity, but not letting the world know it's even an issue.
Yeah.
I mean, these are sort of really spooky cards in this context. We're talking about the economy, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? So we underestimate that aspect of it. I realise this minute. Okay, they know they have to do things differently. They haven't done it. They've been the ones to institute aid in different random places. They put out, they don't let other people in, right? And now they're going to have to. And they're trying to work out with the strategy card too, once how to do it. But surprisingly, I think they'll do all right. Not in the next maybe 5 years, but
Technical issues tonight. Oh, crumbs. She's frozen. All right, let's see if Lena comes back. But she got almost through her reading. So just to surmise, smoke and mirrors, but it's looking like maybe things will improve. Oh, there we are. Are you back?
yes,
We're back.
Oh, sorry, Lena. We missed your last cards. You froze a bit. So if you could just surmise.
The surprise, just
card.
the last bit was they're strategizing how to deal and engage with the outside world for the first time in a reciprocal thing. They can put it out, but they don't interact. I think actually, surprisingly, my point was they could do very well out of this eventually. This is a soul-searching moment. It's a critical economic moment. It's all of that. But because they're still a one-party state, if they come up with a solution, they can implement it.
Yeah.
Which might mean they come out all right. This, to me, is not the next 1 to 5 years, but it's eventual.
Yeah.
They'll work it out.
After struggle. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, at the very center of it, we have that he's trying to distance himself from what's happening by, of course, it's the abuse of the West. It's the democracy this to us, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. So going into it, we have, the powers that be in China, the Communist Party trying to juggle this. Underneath of it, of course, these are the actions that they've taken, all of their choices. And so they're trying to keep a lid on things as much as they can. But unfortunately for them, the challenge is they're feeling abused. They have the big burden that they have all the action here, the burden trying to hold on to power and feeling, pushed up against the edge. So all their actions are just coming to naught. It's not doing well. And their idea about blaming the West for everything is not flying with the people any longer.
Yeah, because young people are in a global world. They don't buy that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it might be able to fool the mum and pop, and also as well, the lockdowns, and they were so severe, so extreme. It's damaged a lot of trust that the Chinese have in their government to look after their best interest. And it's just been scandal after scandal with the banking, now the housing situation, where they've been paying mortgages on properties that haven't even been built. Or even finished. So,
and that's what I mean about 70 years compressed into 10. The people don't have a history of mortgages in China. They don't know how to do that thing, But this is, anyway,
It's extraordinary. And of course, it's all been exacerbated as well, because of the one-child policy. There's now marriage inflation. There's marriage inflation because they, when they were choosing between the kids, unfortunately, a lot of them chose boys.
80%.
Huge difference. And now, of course, girls or women are now at an extreme premium, and they now call it the mother-in-law tax. And she's like, well, unless you've got a property, you cannot marry my daughter. So no wonder these things have kind of shot up. And on top of that, they overcounted their population by 100 million.
Yes. He got the maths wrong.
Yeah. Because the officials didn't tell the truth, because the reason why they didn't tell the truth is that the more population that they had, the more funding that local area would get. So they're just like, we'll just add one here, add one there.
And there was another problem with the methodology, which is how you actually do something like make these big decisions on statistics. He didn't allow for the trend that people were having much fewer children. So he applied the old way, which was when everyone was having 6 or 8 kids and 2 would die. He just kept that flat line, and they overinflated their own population, not deliberately.
Yeah,
so they
just got the
made
maths
these
wrong.
really stupid decisions that they're going to have to live with for 60 years.
Yeah, and it's too late now. They've reached the point of no return, by the way. The point was 2015. That was the point they could have turned it around. And they interviewed Chinese people on the street with their kids. And they were like, well, I was raised as a little emperor, boy or girl, emperor or empress. And they're like, well, I want that the same for my child. And a lot of them just said, we don't have the space. Sorry. There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah. A lot of the women now are saying we don't want to get married. You know, we're not taking that on. We want to have our own business, and we're not going for that. Even though they're at a premium, they're going, no.
Yeah.
And this is what happens when you talk to statisticians and you don't apply the social sciences, you know, who give you this other way of looking at the same questions.
Yeah.
And you get different answers.
I think they relied on an astronaut, wasn't it? I think the guy was an astronaut, and he basically...
Yes, exactly.
Look, astronauts are wonderful people, and they're good at putting objects into the sky, but they don't have a great track record at dealing with human nature, as we see from a certain Elon Musk.
Women's reproductive trends. I don't think they're across it. No.
They got it wildly wrong, bless them. Anyway, with my cards here, here's China trying to present the, you know, the upward stick to the world, you know, the phallus. We still got it, blah, blah, blah. And it's all presentation. Really, it's all Viagra and, you know, a couple of poppers and goodness knows what else. Because it's not real, folks. It's not real. Really. So, oh, God, I'm being so salacious these days. But anyway, whatever. Here we are. Look, they want to go back to the past. It's turned up in the obstacle position. They want to go back to the past. They regret their one-child policy. They want women to go back having 3, 4 kids. And the women are like, no, I'm an empress. I'm in demand. I do whatever the hell I want. I'm a premium, basically. So that nostalgia cannot return, because this is what the obstacle position. So really, it's like that, which means like holding on, clinging to ideals of the past that may no longer be real. Yeah. However, reality moves on. The Chinese people want to move on, and things are going at a great pace. But I also interpret this, because we're also talking about the economy as well. I think this is also talking about the rest of the world is moved on. Because all of that lockdown for like 3 years, they say India is mopping up. India, Indonesia, you know, India playing a blinder, as we would say. They're just playing the middle road, and they're pretending that they don't know what's going on, and they're signing contracts all over the shop. Yeah. So this is like the global economy in a way moving on without them. But it does show as well, Xi wants to move forward as well. However, there's intrigue. Oh, look. Yeah. So we can see here, there's always machinations going on within the government. And I think in many ways, this represents Xi. Xi is terrified of delegating away stuff because he fears being usurped. But his paranoia and his machinations are ultimately hurting the country. And when we look at, you got the same. And when we look at the outcome, look, fighting. Because what happens is this: when you are the manufacturer of the world and you close your shops for 3 years, guess what? People need to go somewhere else to get their stuff made. And then you go, actually, you know what? China's actually a little bit more expensive now than, you know, Indonesia or whatever. Or when the people are paying in rupees. Do you know what I mean? And it's a bit of a fight. I think they will bounce back with time. But for now, it's the fight.
Yeah, it's not good for now, for sure.
Yeah, indeed. Right. Anything to add to that, ladies, before we take our Judge Canon question?
No.
All right, so we've done We've done China. We'll just cross off the sheet here. We've also done, here we are. So we've done that. Okay. This is quite an interesting cat, and we're going to have to say here for entertainment purposes only. Yeah,
Right.
we've just hit 1600, by the way. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and of course, like and subscribe to the ladies' channels in the video description. All right. So this has come in from ML Cervantes. So the question is this: was Judge Canon a friend of Ghislaine Maxwell? Remember her? That woman rotting in jail.
Don't forget Ghislaine.
Been a while she's turned up. Is she, was Judge Canon a friend of Ghislaine Maxwell and a plane girl in Jeff Epstein's plane? So, and I put in brackets, did she entertain those flying on the plane? That's what the person also asked. So, which is quite a salacious question, of course.
Okay, so is it that Judge Canon had a past, shall we say, with a capital P?
Yeah, let's put it that way. With Maxwell and potentially Epstein, and was she part of that circle?
Was she part of that set or not?
And, you know, one of those girls, let's put it that way.
Oh, yeah.
Quite an interesting question.
Yeah. Judge Canon.
Judge Canon.
Certainly not what I was expecting about Judge Canon.
Me neither. I was intrigued by the question. I was like, my goodness, that's a good one. A bit controversial, but you know, hey, such are the times. We've got a person that might become president who will be throwing organs across the border of Argentina. Selling, and you know what? There'll be fake and contraband. They'll be selling pigs' bladders and dogs and all that kind of stuff. So you won't even get the right kidney once it's sold. You're gonna get.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Who's ready to go?
I can if you want.
Go for it.
Okay. I think there was something in a childhood loose term. Okay. I didn't get anything to suggest, or I didn't get a vibe about Epstein's gang specifically, or a Ghislaine thing or anything, but I think there was someone else in that role. I think this was someone young. This is entertainment purposes only, everyone. You know, someone young. Basically, this, I have to say, almost a recruitment vibe, but. And she had to get out from under somehow. My thing is maybe 16 to 18 sort of thing.
Ooh.
And then she got out. But I think she has issues. I'm beginning to think with these cards. And the last card was the King of Cups, who, when he's nice, is someone who gets emotions and is kind to people, etc. But this is someone who can manipulate emotions. Does get emotion, but manipulates them. So I'm not saying hardcore commercial sex. Please, no one take that thing. That's not that smart. But some manipulation. She was taken advantage of significantly.
Yeah. Maybe groomed a little bit. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, I have basically the same things as far as the stability that she had from her home life and things. Something came that she wasn't ready for. This was a strong judgment with her because it consumed her world with loss that she's holding on to. Which results in the challenge of toxicity, okay, with her judgment, okay?
Goodness.
Yeah, above it, it affects her choices made, her actions are based on that emotional drama that she's still carrying around, yeah.
Oh, God.
So something happened, and I think when she was pretty young, something happened with her, and she's still carrying that, yeah. And it affects all her actions.
Maybe with that kind of I mean, maybe she's got a little bit of Stockholm syndrome when it comes to Donald Trump, you know, and that lot, because, you know, again, for entertainment purposes only, but they mixed a lot in those crowds. So it's quite an interesting question. The cards that I've got, they're very interesting as well. So was she part of the party and all this, that on the end? Let's say the entertainment on these planes. That was the question, wasn't it? And look, get the entertainment card. So what this suggests to me, I think she may have been a part of a group, maybe of younger women. And it suggests to me here that, they were the entertainment, the muses, you know, without being too explicit, folks. But we all know what happened with Epstein and stuff like that. But this would suggest, maybe she was younger, when she was less experienced, really just was trying to find her way in the world, you know, because we all make mistakes. Look who turns up in the obstacle position. Oh, Russia's back again. Oh dear. Now we know the entanglements and the involvements, and we know the Russians are masters of compromat. Compromat. You know, it's always like, you know, you've got the girl who's dancing and then she's given a little wink to Olga, who's hidden behind a false door in a library thing, pressing record and, you know, documenting everything. That's what they do, and they know that these honey traps. But it's true, these party girls, isn't it? It's vintage. Since that point, though, it seems like obviously she decided to turn a corner and look at her prospects. You know, the ones always have an element of entrepreneurship, prospecting, but literally this is waiting for the ship to come in. So there was something in an element where she decided to turn her life around. Now we all know she's technically a lawyer, and I think she. Up until the Trump case, she had about 14 hours of, 14 hours of experience or 14 days of experience. I can't remember. It wasn't much, but, you know, she managed to find a pack of cornflakes and apply for her law degree that way. But she made it. Look, she made it. She became an authority. She has become a judge. So it shows that she does have a lot of resources. It seems to me that Canon is a very resourceful person, and whatever her challenges were from her past, she's managed to put that behind her. And then when we look, we've got the Hierophant as the outcome, and here she is, as an establishment figure. And now she has dominion, or at least influence over this huge case, which is the DOJ, in regards to the secret documents and stuff like that. So what this says here, it shows that, yes, she may have had a sketchy past, but she's risen and is now in a position of influence. So in a way, not that I want to applaud too much, because anyone who's that slavishly devoted to Trump, but she's turned it around. Let's put it that way. She's turned it around. Anything to add to that, ladies?
Yeah, how this trial pans out, she might come under immense scrutiny, and should, because if you're new to something huge, the smart thing to do is have smart people around you checking everything you do. So this shouldn't be happening. In every case, there's a screw up of some sort. So I think she's been promoted above her pay grade. I think she should have stayed as an attorney. But in the comments, she has to get her ship free from that infamous submarine, Trump. The submarine. I love it. That's what he is.
Yeah. He's
go down with the submarine.
Indeed. And it's the tentacles, isn't it? The tentacles of all this go so far. So the tentacles go really far. So let's just say who else is with here. We've got here Megashtir Tarot, Janie Bratt. Oops. I'm sorry, the chat has just gone a bit here. Michael Grant says, what's this? Love you. Okay, so there's a lot of people, some people making jokes, of course, about selling organs, but it's almost surreal, isn't it? Until it's real, we can't take it seriously. I mean, it's just so astonishing. Let's see here. I'm looking through. A lot of people having a little chat. This was one. Did you guys hear? So Zendel said, did you see where Biden joined Truth Social? he told them, converts welcome. Did you hear about that?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, I did. I mean, I assume it's not Biden himself. Please tell me it's not. Um,
Yeah.
it's a great idea. Why not do a bit of
Yeah.
trolling from the other side? Good on him.
Exactly.
But I
Exactly.
think the Dems, which is where I started my moan earlier on, have to get more techno savvy. They need to be employing teams of young people on image things, on sound bites, and this delivery. They've
Yeah.
got to get out of the Stone Age.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we've gone from the Chinese economy. Let's look at the US economy. So there's quite a few question marks around that. So this is coming from Queen of Crondom. Isn't that a fabulous name?
It's a great title.
So she asks, question, will there be an economic downturn like stocks crashing or infrastructure collapsing or housing market deteriorating? You know, not a small question. A lot of people I know are believing we're in for a rough time. And she says, but I prefer to think all will be well, but I'm in the minority. Thank you. So let's just have a read. Let's just have a look at that. Biden falls out. Let's just have a read on the US economy. I did say things would change in the last quarter, and there are murmurings, but let's have a look. I think we'll see some more stuff in 2024, to be honest. Let's see. US economy. How is it doing? And then we're saving, as usual, the worst for last, where the Kraken and cheeseburger have flipped. US economy. Who's ready to go?
No, I need to think a bit more on this one. How are you, Lady G?
Lady G?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go. Going into it, they're trying to juggle things and trying to get control of it.
Yeah, look. Oh my God. Oh
We
my
all three,
God.
all of them juggling it, trying to get control of it. We got a bit of smoke and mirrors, though, when it comes to somebody taking charge. As far as we have the democracy and the things in charge, we have burden going when it comes to taking a strong stance. Unfortunately, the challenge is the takeaway, trying to get away with some things, trying to make it better, looking deeper above it. We're kind of out in the cold with some things and taking a hit. So they're going to try their best to muddle through, but we are going to have a difficult time coming up with some things.
Lena, what do you have?
Well, I agree with Lady G. I didn't get the tower or absolute destruction. I think just tough times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tough time, yeah.
Just before that, which we've got now, you might call it the honeymoon phase before this next sort of cycle kicks in. It's sort of a bit like that. But the thing with the Lover's card always is the mountain in the middle of having to get over that mountain. So it's like people need to pull together. There is this thing, if you can put some money away or put it into something of some sort of value that is safe long term, that could be a safer measure. I wouldn't know what those things are because I never have enough left over to worry about storing it. But in principle, it can be storing things that are important to you, literally.
Silver and gold.
Yeah, silver and gold. But also lentils, and Band-Aids, there's other things. Other things that become important. Things aren't important till you need them. So that's always my guideline when I pack the emergency pack. Okay, but we've got the Page and the Queen of Pentacles here. And this is sort of saying to me, the message about money is coming through. I don't know that people are listening. I think there's a second thing, which is women's budgeting. The double whammy of the feminine here going into next year's election, particularly. It's how women will see the budget will be important for the election. But underneath it all, it's juggle, juggle, juggle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these things, it's like, how interesting that we all got the Two of Pentacles, eh? We all got the Two of Pentacles. So my cards here, look who shows up, the Romantic Knight. So people may not necessarily like this, but I have to say what I see. And what I see is this. I don't think we can necessarily trust the data that's being put out, guys.
Duh. Yeah.
I don't think we can, because there's a lot of other YouTube channels and stuff like that I watch who really know their economics, and they're saying other stuff. Yeah, so take the official narrative with a pinch of salt, because there's even some of the banks that are in a bit of trouble. If we look again, if we look here, look at this. If this is the economy, or decisions to be made, but not liking the options that are on the table, because really when you look at the core data, core inflation, all of this stuff, it's not looking so hot. So here we are, we've got the people around the back not liking the options that they've got. Look who turns up in the middle. Oh, stinky fish. Yeah. So there is going to be some kind of message. Now, you've got to remember as well, October is a traditional time, particularly in the US, for it to go a little bit squiffed with the stock market. So we might hear some messages. There might be some news that may not necessarily be pleasant. However, people are going to collaborate and work hard and try and get together. And of course, bear in mind, this is also going to be dealing with the GOP. The baboons are going to be beating their chests, in November, trying to cause as much problems as possible. So in many ways, you could say this is also the immaturity of the GOP trying to come through. But maybe there'll be a deal. But overall, just like with the ladies, look, we all got the same card. It's a juggle, folks.
Yeah.
Really, it is a juggle. So let's get to the last question. We've only got a few minutes left. It's gone so quick. We've got 1,747
That's awesome,
of you with us tonight. Wow, that's incredible. And we, of course, we have to talk about you know what. So here, Pearl Ruby has said, Kenneth Cheesebro has pleaded guilty to a felony today, October 2023. Snip Snip, as we know, my nickname for K2, is going strong, and it's not even the 22nd yet. So remember, from the 22nd of October, that's when K2 starts driving the car, which is the worst planet for Trump, by the way, the worst. So she's put, so HoGaLe's, my question, is Duck L'Orange ready to bite the farm yet? Now, as we know, we don't read on things like death, etc., and stuff like that. So I've kind of tweaked the question a bit, which is just asking, how does Trump feel now that some of his co-conspirators have confessed?
You do a one card.
A one card?
I think this is good for a one card concise.
Okay,
yeah, actually, let's do a one card. Why not? That brings us nicely. How does Trump feel now that
two of them?
Exactly. So the big lie, folks, I think even in Foxland, is either dead or severely is on life support, because they've admitted it. So it's over. Yeah. All right. How is Duck L'Orange feeling about this? Let's have a look. All right. We'll go after 3. Ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3.
What have you got, Lady G? You froze. Oh, wow. I'm sure we got some.
Interesting.
Yeah, totally. And you got my Emperor card for him too. So it's the other side. I mean, we are dealing with Gemini energy, and I'm looking at the 3 cards here, so I'm just going to leap to that. This is him losing his mind, okay, here with the moon, and awash emotionally. Yours is 3 hours later, and perhaps with the help of the bathroom cabinet, he's feeling better and on top of the world. And in between, Lady G, you have his, which is, that's him. He's doing that person and that person.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't want to hear it. I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to believe it. It's, you know, he's in his own world of fantasy. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when I look at, because here's the Emperor card, this is him still believing that he's the king. Yeah. He's the Don. But really, this is what he's fronting. But the ladies' cards are showing really what his internal world is like. He is all at sea. He doesn't know what to do, as we can see with Lady G's card, because he is completely discombobulated, howling at the moon. The lobster is coming out of the deep, dark waters, and he knows he is finished. So he's going to present with this, but really what the ladies have is how he's feeling inside. And there we go. I think that's a perfect place.
It is
in the show. The time has gone so quick. Can you believe it?
And so it was traumatic without the bard. You know,
I
but
know.
Next
Sorry,
week.
guys, I forgot him at home. Next week he'll be back. I'll be at home. I know, it's such a shame. I mean, what the bard thinks of Milei.
I do have.
Yes.
Sorry, Lady G.
What's that?
I have a Shakespeare.
No.
Yes.
No.
Shall we ask? Let's ask.
So
Go on.
let's let Hoagie choose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, all right,
So,
folks, you're getting a few extra minutes here, folks. Enjoy. All right, and I have to tell you when to stop, isn't it? All right. Oh, this is so exciting. All right. Stop.
Okay. Oh, you Orson, Cullen Lee Barbermonger, and you Minion are too saucy.
No.
Wait, can you read that again?
Your minions are too saucy.
Oh, that's hilarious. Can you read the first part again?
Yes, the first one. You Orson, Cullen Lee Barbermonger. You're a barbermonger. Yeah, Orson.
Well, maybe that's the chainsaw. He just barbers everything, you know.
I mean, isn't it extraordinary? And really, and genuinely, guys, you know, because look, we always try and bring some levity and stuff to this show, and we have to, because the world is crazy. It genuinely is crazy. I really thoughts and prayers for Argentina, and I pray for them, because if that guy wins, it's honestly, but you can imagine what the black market, because there's obviously going to be fraud. Think about it. A person's going to be like, all right, I can get 30,000 for a kidney. Do you think it's going to be their kidney? Of course not. They're going to be opening up next door's pig. So on the black market, we're going to have animal organs, and people are going to be fitted with a dog's liver, with a pig's kidney, you know, a cat's eyeball. I mean, you can imagine where that can go. So please, I just pray for Argentina. Any closing thoughts, ladies, before we go?
No, I'm going on Johnny's channel tomorrow night, Sunday night, Tarot's Apprentice with Jen, Lynn and Becca. Lovely. So it's fun when I can get on with them too.
Brilliant, brilliant. And
while I'm in this time zone, I've got to make the most of it.
Indeed, indeed. So good luck for the show tomorrow. And Lady G, any closing thoughts on what we've covered in tonight's show?
No, I just like the bard's last thing, that his minions are too saucy.
They're drowning in sauce.
Oh my goodness. Well,
too much. They're too much. They're pain in the rear end. Yeah. It's
all just a bit too much, isn't it? Well, thank you, folks, for joining us. It was over 1,700 of you in the end. We will be back, of course, next week, obviously, to report on what's going to happen in Argentina. We'll probably be getting the news sometime Sunday, I would imagine, going into Monday.
I'll be your correspondent for HoGaLe's.
Oh, indeed, indeed.
I'll let you guys know.
Oh, Indeed. And thank you, everyone. In the comments, those who also donated as well. Vozzy Oscar, thank you for your donation, for the likes and the subscribes and everything. We really do appreciate so much love. Big love to everyone. And we will call it a day there. I mean, I hope we've given you some joy in these very strange, bizarre times that we're in politically. It really is extremely odd. The history book makers will look back at this time and just be like, what was going on?
Yeah.
But one foot in front of the other. And remember, if you're ever stuck in a tight corner, there's always ice cream and the Golden Girls. Yeah?
That's right.
All right. Well, we'll say any sorry, Lena, were you going to add something? Or
no, you just put the idea of ice cream in my head. Yeah.
Indeed. So we will see you next week, everyone. Have a great time wherever you are. Do the best you can, one foot in front of the other. And remember to laugh. Yeah. Remember, laughter is medicine. All right. We will catch you soon.
Ciao.
All right. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.